This morning I have somewhat of a difficult sermon to preach. And I'll tell you that one of my many spiritual gifts, that's just not bragging, we all have spiritual gifts, and I encourage you to unlock and use yours, is prophecy. And so it's a little bit of a prophetic sermon today, a word that I've received, and I'm not shy about stepping on toes. So some toes will be stepped on today. This is a fair warning. We've gone through this Advent season, this Christmas season, and we've proclaimed that we are the light, see us shine, and also invited God to come. We've talked about the shoot that shall come out of the stump of Jesse. We've talked about joy. We've talked about peace. We've spoken of hope in this Advent season. And on Christmas Eve, I said that every season we get another opportunity to reset and to get it right. The scripture has called Jesus Emmanuel, God with us. We have seen in the Gospels that Jesus is born in very contentious times. I don't know if you remember these stories, but Jesus is born and the emperor wants to kill all the babies because there's supposed to be this king of the Jews that is going to rise up. So in the midst of us and all of our singing joy to the world and enlarge our territory and lower air arose, air blooming, and all of the joyous Christmas songs that we sing, I just stopped by to remind you, as I did on Christmas Eve and the week before, that Jesus is born into a bunch of mess. That the manger was a feeding trough. Remember I said last week, he wasn't up on the VIP suite in the hospital room. He was born in a barn. In addition to that, he is born and people are seeking to kill him because of his potential. And so every year, the lesson we are supposed to learn, sometimes we don't keep with us throughout the year. And that simple lesson is that God is with us. God is with you when you can't figure out how to pay your bills. God is with you when you lose your job. God is with you when your political candidate doesn't get elected. God is with you when your mama and your family and them don't want to spend time with you. God is with you when folks want to tell you what you need to do in your bedroom. God is with you when folks want to tell you what to do with your gender. God is with you when folks don't want to call you a Christian or believe in you. God is with you when you are failing tests and not knowing what to do next about your education. God is with you, Isla, when you're in the classroom teaching them hard-headed kids. God is with you at every single step and moment of the day. And Christmas comes around again to say, get it right, and remember that it ain't just a pretty Christmas story, that Jesus was born in a manger, in a feeding trough, just so you can get it in your head again, that in the midst of all of your chaos and destruction and mess and drama and foolishness, God is still with you. How many Christmases is it going to take for us to get this lesson? The tree is pretty, all the gifts are wonderful, but have you learned the greatest gift of all is that God is with you? Yes. What is the prophetic word going into this? It's because it's time for us to get this lesson right and down. Do you really want to go into another year and another decade of feeling sorry for yourself and sorry for all the other people around you and sorry for those who need help and sorry for those who are in poverty and sorry for those who don't have a decent education? Or are you going to stand and straighten your spine and say, God is with me, God is with us, I can claim my voice and do what God is calling me to do in this time? Isaiah, the scripture Isaiah, he says, in all their distress, verse 9 ends, it was no messenger or angel, but it was God's presence that saved them. It was God's presence that saved them. There's no cross without God showing up. There is no salvation without God showing up and being present. We want to spend a whole lot of time up at the cross, but we forget that Jesus had a life before getting to the cross, that Jesus' presence was with the people, that Jesus walked with the people, that Jesus healed people that other folks said shouldn't be getting healed, that Jesus hung out with people that other folks said you shouldn't be hanging out with those people because they ain't holy enough, that Jesus' presence showed up in places that it shouldn't be. We have this pretty Christianity these days, but I'm coming to tell you, no matter how sophisticated you are, no matter how much money God has put in your bank, no matter how many degrees you have, Jesus shows up in some ratchet and ghetto situations. So you might want to run from who you are, you might want to run from where you came from, but I'm just saying that the Jesus that I read about shows up and blesses the ratchet and the ghetto in times that they weren't expecting it. Don't get too cute that you avoid the reality that God is ready to show up in the midst of your mess. We want to bring God the pretty, but God says, bring me the mess. In 2020, are you going to keep faking the funk and praying these pretty little prayers about God, come now and bless me, and behold, oh Lord, oh, anoint my head and flow into my life, and God, I receive the healing and money is in my bank account, I'm sowing the seed. God is showing up in the middle of your mess. Stop being cute and start saying, God, here is the mess. Bless me in the middle of it. God already knows how righteous you are. And quite frankly, don't nobody else care. Where is your mess? That is what needs to be submitted in 2020. We were just singing about God enlarging our territory. It's a wonderful song. I love it. It moves me to tears. But here's the thing. God has already answered your prayer. The question is are you ready for larger territory? The question is, are you ready to do what it's going to take to maintain your territory? The question is, are you going to take the steps in 2019 to do what's needed to enlarge your territory? You can't be looking at launching a new dream, but you continue to do the same stuff you do every single day. I heard somebody said you can't want something new for your life and you leave work and go home and binge Netflix all evening long. You have 24 hours in a day. You only work for about 8. What in the HE double hockey sticks are you doing with the rest of the hours that you have in the day? I am just trying to figure out, if you go holler about your territory being enlarged, you might need to figure out how to go about going ahead and doing it. God has said, here's the prophecy, God has said, I've already enlarged your territory. You are not prepared because you can't see it and you haven't done what you need to do to get into it. I heard about a group of folks that roamed in the wilderness for 40 years because they couldn't open their eyes and get their stuff right. Is it going to be another 40 years for you, another 2, another 3, another 5, another 3 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? How long is it going to be? Enlarge my territory and you just sitting there walking around. Wait. When will you claim it and do what needs to be done to maintain it? Stop begging God, because God is tired of hearing about it. The prayer has already been answered. Get up off your and do something. There's a child present too, I see. Get up and do something. Make it happen. I have heard this scripture that says, like I mentioned on Christmas Eve, Christ in you, your hope of glory. If Christ is your hope of glory, why are you locking yourselves in closets and crying and asking God for a breakthrough when all the while Christ in you, your hope of glory? You have already been endowed with the power. You've already been endowed with the authority. You've already been endowed with the know-how. You've already been given the talent. Stop looking up and start looking within. We don't have any more time to sit around and sitting here like we singing old Negro slave spirituals and can't nobody help us. That is a lie. Stand up and claim what is yours and what God has put in your heart. We've heard it said that in God we live and move and breathe and have our being. And yet we keep praying, God come. God's already here. This is a tough lesson. Because what I'm trying to tell you is stop praying about stuff that has already been answered. The prayer has already been answered. It might be the thing you want is something you don't need as well too. That's a whole nother sermon. It might be that you are not ready yet. You can't say, God, make me a doctor, and you ain't finished your high school diploma. You can't say, God, make me a minister, and you ain't went to nobody's seminary school or done any training. You can't say, God, I want to be a Grammy award-winning singer, and you ain't never opened your mouth to even sing in a church house. I don't understand some folks. How you go become a writer and all you've done is Googled how to write? You need to get on top of doing it. Get some action in place. God is tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I want to see some results. You want your church to do well? You want your pastor to be okay? You want our music program to expand? You want more children in children's church? You want us streaming online? And all the while you sitting there on top of a dream that's going to put more money in your pocket for you to put in the plate, and you wondering why things are not moving. It's because of you. If you want something bigger and grander, move, make it happen. Mary didn't say, oh, I'm pregnant with Jesus, but I'm going to just hold him in. No, she pushed. And I ain't never gave birth, but every woman in here that has can tell you that pushing hurts. It rearranges some things in your biology. It rearranges some things in your life. And part of the reason some of your friends have left you, or you cut them off, or however you want to put it, is because when it comes time to push, you want to say, I'm going to just hold this in. Push. Give birth to it. There's nobody else like you. You are uniquely designed and created. A wonderful, exquisite manifestation of God on earth. When will you walk in purpose? When will you walk in your creativity? When will you begin to say, I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me, that Christ in me is my hope of glory. I don't need to go beg God for this when I can do it myself. Scripture says that God comes to them as a baby, helpless, vulnerable, and present. God is indeed walking the earth. God is indeed present with us now. God is walking the earth as you. God is walking the earth as you. I don't want to drop the full lesson on you, but I read it somewhere in something called the Bible. They said, have ye not heard that ye are gods? That's hard for some of us to hear. God, not the God. See, that's the problem, y'all. There is no definitive article in front of that. Have ye not heard that ye are gods? Children of the Most High God. Are we going to continue to be helpless? Are we going to continue to ignore all of the resources that are at our fingertips? I'm not just preaching this to you. I got 4 or 5 visions in my heart that I just been sleeping on because it hadn't been perfect enough, or I don't have enough of this, or I don't have enough of that, or I can't make a move on, or I can't make, and all the while I'm sleeping on this, and there's a whole church that's just growing and moving and doing things. And I remember when we didn't have enough. But somehow, some way, folks showed up that were needed at just the right time. And one day I was talking to someone and God dropped it in my spirit because we were talking about something about streaming online and doing something. And I said, well, we don't stream online yet because we're not ready. And I said, okay, God, I get it. When you're ready and you're doing what you're supposed to do, it'll show up. When you're ready and doing what you're supposed to do and working towards it, it will happen. This goes towards anything happening in your life. You ain't gonna get another family. So go get some help, get something in your mind to figure out how to deal with them. You're not getting another one. The spouse that you've committed to, unless you're getting a divorce, you're not getting another one, so you need to figure it out. It's simple. No money in the bank, you want more money in the bank, maybe you have to go and get another job. All of these solutions are simple. There is no cosmic spiritual revelation, and God is not going to crack open the sky and float down on a cloud and say, poof, there it is. Stop waiting on the poof. There is no poof that's coming. The only poof that's coming is when you get up off your ass and do what you're supposed to do. If you want a successful next decade, it's on you. That's the word that God gave me. It's on you, not me, is what God said to me. If you want it, it's all on you. If you want it, go get it. You want larger territory? Go get it. You want more money in the bank? Go get it. You want to improve your talent? Go do it. You want another degree? Go get it. It's all on you. Don't come around here in 2029 talking about, I'm waiting on my blessing. You will have had 10 years to get your stuff right. I don't want to hear no stories 10 years from now. Everybody ought to be getting on top of what God has called them to do. Don't waste another decade. Don't waste another decade in mediocrity. Don't waste another decade swallowing in your depression and swimming in all your guilt and shame. Claim your authority. None of us should be where we are right now 10 years from now. And we have to make that declaration right here today. You can go to every watch night service you want to on Tuesday night, but don't you leave here today without deciding in your mind and in your soul and in your spirit that God has already blessed me, and I'm just going to get my butt in alignment with what I need to do. I'm not begging, I'm not pleading, I'm not crying. I am just going to line up with what God has already blessed me with. No more helpless prayers. No more helpless prayers. Only prayers of I've got it. This is going to happen. It's good. It's working. I'm finding the steps that I need to do to make things happen. No more woe is me. Lord, help me. I'm a wretch. God, I can't get blessed. No, make it happen. You have all the power that you need. God is indeed walking the earth. In you, in me. Are we ready, as the song says, to go get our inheritance? And all the people of God said, amen.